What's up, guys? Neil Orfield here, taking a look at Stokastic's NFL DFS lineup generator for tonight's showdown slate between the Steelers and the Browns. While you're coming in, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and hit that notification button so you can get alerts when our shows go live. If you haven't already checked out the lineup generator, it is just $14.95 per week. It's our least expensive offering here at Stokastic. Fantastic deal. This tool only gives you plus EV lineups. These lineups have been run through the Stokastic sims. Any negative EV lineups have been thrown out. They're not going to come out of the lineup generator. Fantastic deal. And we cover both showdown and main slates. So check it out if you haven't already done so. Again, it's just $14.95 per week. You can find the link in the description of this video. All right, I'm going to start looking at some DraftKings showdown lineups, and then we'll move on to FanDuel. I'm not going to specify chalky, balance, or contrarian. I'm just going to let it give me the lineups that it wants to give me. And I'm also not going to specify a particular game script. If you want to say, hey, this game is going to go way over the total, both teams are going to score 6+ points more than what the line is, you can click this top button, or you can choose whatever game script you want. You can see we have different game scripts available. I'm just going to use the standard projections for the purpose of this video. All right, first lineup we see here, Calvin Austin should be in for a bigger role with Deontay Johnson out tonight. We have Calvin Austin in the captain spot. We've got Kenny Pickett correlated with him. George Pickens also in the lineup. So we got Kenny Pickett in the flex with two of his pass catchers, along with Najee Harris, who I guess you could consider him a secondary pass catcher as well for the Steelers. We got the Steelers defense in there. So just a full Steelers onslaught here with just Elijah Moore as the bring back. We're leaving a good amount, 5,200 on the table in this one. So looking at the three main things I look at. First of all, does it project well enough? This one projects for 64.5 points. I think that is a pretty solid projection on a pretty low scoring slate is what we're expecting here. So 64.5 is a solid projection. You can see here that it's up towards the top. It's not, all the way optimal in terms of projection, but on Showdown, when you're trying to get different, a little bit less concerned with the projection. Correlation factor, we only have one quarterback in the lineup, and he is paired with multiple pass catchers, so no concerns for me there. And then uniqueness factor, I mean, we've got Austin in there at 4% projected ownership in that captain spot, and leaving 5,200 on the table. I feel pretty good. This lineup is not going to be duped too many times, so I like this lineup. All right, second lineup. From a projection standpoint, this one projects just slightly worse than the last one. Looks okay here. We do not have any quarterbacks in this lineup, so we don't need to worry about having like naked quarterbacks, lacking correlation here. We've got Jaylen Warren in the captain spot with Pat Freiermuth out there as well for the Steelers. And then in the flex, we have three pass catchers and Nick Chubb. So we've got David Njoku, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Elijah Moore, and Nick Chubb in there. This one leaves a ton of salary on the table. So this one leaving 8,900 on the table. Now, what I'm wondering is, with that much left on the table, we could upgrade one of these pass catchers to Deshaun Watson. I feel like I would prefer that. I'm a little bit concerned that this lineup it's leaving too much salary on the table, given the clear upgrades we could make. But certainly there are ways that this could work. Again, every single lineup here has been run through the Sims, has been found to be plus EV. This one clearly not going to be duped, or at least not duped more than one or two times. So it wins often enough to be plus EV. It concerns me a little bit that we could fit Deshaun Watson into this lineup, upgrade pretty easily with, I think, any one of these pass catchers. So I think I would prefer that lineup. You could still leave some salary on the table if, for example, you swap out Njoku for Deshaun Watson. We're still leaving a good amount of salary on the table, project significantly better. So again, I'm okay. I'm okay with the lineup as constructed, but a little bit of a concern there. A little bit lighter on this one. I like the first one a little bit better. All right, I'm going to save this one though. All right, third lineup, and I'm just going to look at three, and then I'll go through to the end, see what my exposures look like. This lineup, we have the Browns defense in the captain spot, so clearly expecting a low-scoring game here. We have a naked Deshaun Watson. I think that's okay because Deshaun Watson is a good enough runner, rushes for around 30 yards per game, and clearly has upside for rushing spike weeks. Scoring a touchdown on the ground will do it. So I'm okay with having Deshaun Watson in there naked. We got the double running back with Jaylen Warren, Najee Harris. I like that as a way to get unique. So looking at first of all, the projection projects just fine. The correlation, again, Deshaun Watson, I'm okay having. I probably wouldn't like Kenny Pickett in there as much. I think that he's, marginally viable as a naked quarterback in the flex. But Deshaun Watson, I think, is very viable as a naked quarterback in the flex. And then from a uniqueness standpoint, I mean, we're leaving more than 10,000 on the table here. No concerns from that standpoint. So I actually like this one better than that last lineup that we looked at, even though it projects a little bit worse. I think that this one looks a little bit more viable to me because we don't have the concern of 3 pass catchers from one team without the quarterback when the quarterback could fit into the lineup. So I like this lineup better than the last one. But again, every single lineup is plus EV in this tool. All right, now I'm just going to go through and I'm going to save 20 lineups. It's actually been giving us some bonus lineups this week. We've seen sometimes it allows you to save up to 40 lineups, which is awesome in my opinion. Just getting some extra lineups in there. All right, this one, it allowed me to save 40, so that is great. 40 lineups, we have 55% George Pickens, looking like the alpha with Deontay out this week and out for the next 4 weeks now. Just went on the IR, so George Pickens is in a great spot here. Kenny Pickett, 53% as well. Nick Chubb, surprising actually to see Nick Chubb in only 47% of these lineups. Of course, I did go with a mix, so a lot of these that I got I think are pretty contrarian lineups. But 47% Nick Chubb, 45% Donovan Peoples-Jones. Unclear. There is now growing optimism that there's at least a chance that Amari Cooper plays today. He had been doubtful coming in today. Didn't sound like he was going to play. Got to keep your eye out for that because a lot of these pass catchers for the Browns are going to look a little bit worse if Amari Cooper is in there. You're going to want to play some Amari Cooper in that case also. All right. I think that's going to do it for DraftKings. Let's take a look at some FanDuel lineups as well. So I'm doing FanDuel single game. Again, I'm going to do a mix. I'm going to do all lineups. We're going to mix of chalky, balance, and contrarian lineups here. And I'm not going to specify a game script. Of course, you could. If you feel like the game is going to go a specific way, you can choose whichever game script you want here. I'm just going to go standard projections. All right, so first lineup we see here, and I'm just going to look at the first 3 and then go through and save, look at exposures. First lineup, we've got Jaylen Warren in the MVP. Steelers defense, some nice correlation there. Steelers defense in the flex. And then we've got Deshaun Watson with Donovan Peoples-Jones. We also have the Browns defense in there. This looks like a perfectly fine lineup. 48.1 projection. You know, not the best projected lineup, but not a terrible projection either for this lineup as far as correlations go. Again, we got Watson with Peoples-Jones. No naked quarterbacks here. No concerns there. And then salary, we're leaving 9,000 on the table. So I'm not really concerned about uniqueness of this lineup. I think this is going to be a unique lineup and certainly has the possibility to win if Jaylen Warren scores, a couple touchdowns. This is going to be very much a live lineup here. So I like that. All right, this one we have Najee Harris in the MVP spot. We have Kenny Pickett in there. Kenny Pickett is correlated with both Boykin and Austin. This looks like a nicely correlated lineup. It only leaves 1,500 on the table. It projects a little bit better. Again, I think that this is a viable lineup. Once again, no concerns about this one. So I'll save that one. And then the third lineup we have here, we have no quarterbacks in the lineup. We got David Njoku in the MVP, Nick Chubb in the flex for the Browns. And then from the Steelers, we have George Pickens and Pat Freiermuth along with the Steelers defense. This one leaving 4,000 on the table, projects well at 47. So no real concerns about uniqueness here. No real concerns about the correlation. Projects well enough. So I like this lineup as well. I'm going to save this. I'm just going to go through and save as many lineups as it lets me. Usually 20, but again, we're getting some bonus lineups this week. So we'll see if we get 20 or 40 here. All right, so after 40 lineups, we have 47% Najee Harris, 47% Kenny Pickett, 45% Nick Chubb, 42% Steelers defense, 40% Deshaun Watson, 40% David Njoku. No real shocks here other than, again, fairly low amount of Nick Chubb. I would actually expect more than 45% of Nick Chubb, especially on FanDuel where it's not even PPR. So I think Nick Chubb, we're getting, it's a little bit lower than I would have expected here. Do we have, yep. All right. So no real concerns about this. But again, things are going to change, especially if Amari Cooper ends up in. We're going to have some Amari Cooper in our lineups. We're going to have a little bit less, I think, of some of these pass catchers for the Browns. So keep that in mind. When you're building lineups, there is a chance that Amari Cooper does end up playing today. Chance seems to be going up throughout the day. All right, I think that is going to do it for this video. Again, if you haven't already done so, please do hit the like button. And if you want to check out the lineup generator, make some of your own lineups maybe later after we get news on inactives. It's just $14.95 per week, and you can find the link in the description of this video. Thanks for watching. Good luck tonight.